Today, let's talk about the side of breastfeeding that no one really prepares you for. Breastfeeding can be a mix of a lot of emotions. It's hard, it's rewarding. It's honestly one of the best things I've done since becoming a mom. Let's talk about it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can know when I post. The first thing no one told me about breastfeeding was that it's going to hurt at first. Not it might, it will. It will. You're not used to having somebody latch on to you the way that babies need to latch onto you to breastfeed in order to get a good amount of milk. So it does hurt, but just make sure you prepare yourself. And you can do that by getting some nipple butter. And I heard the nipple shields also help. I personally did not use them, haven't used them. Nipple butter has definitely been a lifesaver for me. So I highly recommend. And I will post the products that I recommend down in the description. I also have a list on Amazon that you can purchase from as well with all the product recommendations. The second thing that no one really told me was that having a good latch is important. And when you're in the hospital, if your hospital provides you with lactation consultants, then definitely talk to them. They will introduce to you how to latch your baby because not all babies latch right away. I think this is really important to know because it may take your baby a while to latch. You don't just put your baby up to your boob and it latches right away. That may have worked for some people. Some people may tell you that's how their baby latched, and that's great, but that's not how it works for everybody. I know with me, it did take my son 3 months to actually latch. Some babies are just immature at first and they need time to learn, and that's fine. So he latched at 3 months, and we've been breastfeeding since then. So he's almost 11 months. So that's almost what, like 7 months of breastfeeding. So we've been doing really well. But like I said, the latching, it does take some trial and error. Definitely seek out a lactation consultant at your hospital or any nearby resources that you have that provide them. I highly recommend having some sort of boppy pillow. I'll put an image here of the one that I use. We used the boppy pillow up until he was about 4 or 5 months. Then he just kind of started getting too big and didn't really need it for that type of support, but you can use it for support for you as well as the baby. I would use it to put under my arm sometimes, or I would, when he was little, I would use it in front of me to lay him on so that he was closer to my breast. Important to talk about with breastfeeding is that you don't have to exclusively breastfeed to be successful. A lot of women feel like if you're not exclusively breastfeeding, you're not breastfeeding, but that's not true. Breastfeeding, it can be exclusively breastfeeding. It can be a mix of breastfeeding sometimes and pumping so that the baby takes a bottle, or it can just be pumping and bottle feeding your baby. I have done everything. I did exclusively breastfeed, and I also pumped and breastfed him like at the breast, but I got tired of pumping, honestly, so I just started exclusively breastfeeding because that's what worked for us and that's what was easiest for us. If you are going to pump, I highly recommend a hospital grade pump. I used the Spectra, I think it was S2. I'll put a picture here. It wasn't a portable one, but it was still really good. They do have the portable ones, so like the cordless ones that don't need that you can like carry around the house and stuff to while you pump. I also had a handheld pump, which was the Mom Cozy. I'll put a picture here as well. Like I said, everything will be linked below in the description, and I'll also put a link to my Amazon list that has all these products. If you are exclusively breastfeeding or you don't want to pump but you do want to save milk, I recommend a Haka, which is a handheld pump, not pump, but it's a handheld, I would say, like a milk catcher, and it catches your milk. Because in the beginning, before your boobs kind of like regulate the milk, you will leak a lot, and you don't want to waste that milk. Like breast, you don't want to waste breast milk. So I would catch mine. It probably be like 2 ounces on the other breast while he's feeding on my right breast, and I would put the haka on my left breast and catch like 2 to 3 ounces of milk. Now it's gonna vary from woman to woman because we don't all produce the same amount of milk, but I still think it's worth it if you just want to save up a little stash. And that moves on to my next note of, if you choose to save or build a stash, I would start early. But I also would not stress yourself to feel like you need to build a milk stash. It's not necessary unless you're going to be sending like your baby off to daycare, or to somebody's going to be watching your baby during the day and you still want your baby to have breast milk. Other than that, I don't feel like it's really necessary. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, and at first I was, like I said, I was doing all the things. I was feeding at the breast. I'll say nursing. I was nursing. I was pumping, and I stopped because honestly, it just got extremely overwhelming. But if you feel like you really want to build a stash, uh, if if you feel like you really want to build a stash, say you want to use the breast milk in these baths, like I use breast milk in my son's bath, just make sure you start early. Like I said, make sure you get a good pump, a hospital grade pump, but also don't tire yourself out. If you get overwhelmed, just stop. It's not necessary. It's just something that we do because we feel like we want to prepare. Like I said, if you're sending your baby off to daycare and you still want them to have breast milk, then okay, I understand that. But still, don't stress yourself out to do it too much. You don't need to do it every time you nurse. You can pump maybe twice a day, depending on your supply. I know I am an oversupplier, so I didn't need to pump too much. Well, I did have to pump a lot just because I had a lot of milk, and it hurts to have all that, sitting on your chest. But yeah, don't stress yourself out about it if it's not completely necessary for you to have. Also, make sure to invest in some good breast milk storage bags. I had the Dr. Brown's, and I also had the Mom Cozy storage bags, which were great. I'll show a picture. I forgot the name of it, but I'll put a picture here. It was a great storage bag because it has a little spout on it. So after you put the milk in there and you freeze it, and say you want to, you take something out because you want to use it, you can rip the spout off and then pour it into the bottle. So that was super convenient, because it sucked kind of having to open the top and try to dump the milk into the bottle. Like, it just would get everywhere. But the bag that I had that has a spout on it, I forgot the name, but that was a really great investment. But just make sure you invest in some good breast milk storage bags, because they're great to have if you're going to be building a stash. Something I did too with having a newborn and coming home and starting to pump was having a station set up in the room. It had it was one of those rolling carts, and I had everything on there. I had my pump, I had breast milk, not breast milk wipes, but breast pump wipes, nipple covers, everything. So I think it's good to have some type of station set up near you, because if you're going to be pumping, it's a lot and you need to make sure you're doing it every 3 hours. So basically, whenever the baby's feeding, you need to be pumping. And it's so much more convenient to have a station next to you that you have access to that just has everything on it. Even if you have a handheld pump, I would put it on there. Make sure you have some breast pump wipes on there, nipple covers. If you use nipple shields, your nipple butter, it just makes everything more convenient to have. And that honestly made pumping less stressful for me, was having that nursing station set up next to me. It's literally right next to my bed. Also, if you're going to be breastfeeding, make sure you invest in some great nursing bras. I'm literally still wearing one right now because I'm still breastfeeding, but they are so great because you can literally unlatch. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can literally unlatch this piece just like this. So if your baby needs to nurse, literally you just unlatch this, pull it down, nurse. If you're trying to pump, you can also, there's a hack that you can do to use, if you don't have a pumping bra, there's a hack you can use with a nursing bra. Um, if you go on TikTok and type in nursing bra hack, it'll show you how you can attach your pump to your nursing bra and just have it so that it's sitting there and hands-free pumping. So definitely invest in a great nursing bras, because you're going to be wearing them for a long time. If you plan on nursing or pumping or whatever, you're going to be wearing them for a long time. I have been wearing this nursing bra for 11 months, And I'm excited once we hit 12 months to not have to wear a nursing bra anymore and I can actually wear a regular bra. But like invest in great nursing bras, comfortable nursing bras, because you're going to be wearing them all the time. I think the last thing is most important is just make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Breastfeeding is a lot. It's great. It's a blessing to be able to do that with for your baby, to have that connection with your baby, to build that bond, but it can be a lot mentally. So make sure you're taking care of yourself as a mother. You also have to take care of your mental health, yourself, your emotions. If you need to journal to do that, if you need to, I know they have apps that you can log, okay, I pumped at this time. I can set a reminder for the next time I need to pump. If that's what makes it easier for you, make sure you do that. If you need to, have your partner do certain things so that they can help you set up for it, let them know. Make sure you let them know. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health because breastfeeding can take a toll on you. It can be very, very hard. Granted, it's very rewarding. Not all rewarding things come easy. So I think it's important that us as women take care of ourselves because sometimes we are so focused on taking care of our baby that we neglect ourselves. And I can speak from personal experience. So, whether you're breastfeeding for a day, a month, 6 months, a year, just know you're doing an amazing job. The fact that you even are doing this is amazing. You're amazing. You're a great mom. You're doing a great job. So, I hope these tips and tools, these recommendations for products, are helpful to you. Like I said, I will be linking all products in the description below. So make sure you check those out. Anything you can do to make your journey easier, I hope you do. And I hope that I am here to help you do that. Let me know in the comments below which's been your favorite product for breastfeeding. What products do you want to try? And how has your breastfeeding journey been going? Do you want to breastfeed or do you just want to scrap it all together? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys stick around for the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I post. Bye.